guys, welcome back to another ep of Manc Pod. Very happy to be back as always. We'll get straight into it.
Yes.
How are you? What have you been up to?
Not much, because I'm actually pre-recording this.
We are.
In the 5 seconds that we've done, just pressing stop and start. Not very much. But yeah, so I am still dressed in the same outfit.
Same.
But I do have a very good question. Well, a very good questionnaire.
Okay.
A fun, light-hearted questionnaire.
Okay, fine.
To kick us off.
Kick us off with nice and light, and then we can get deep.
Yes, 100%. So let's go. What's the first one? So this questionnaire is called "Am I being a dickhead?" Okay.
Yeah.
So you need to say, "Am I being a dickhead?" If in these situations,
Okay.
yes or no.
Okay.
Very light.
Yeah.
So I feel like Lily Allen should be playing now. Am I being a dickhead? But we'll play that on the Instagram.
Yeah.
Am I being a dickhead if I pretend to not see someone in public, even though I've definitely made eye contact with them?
Yeah.
Someone that you know.
Yeah.
Would even if you like not spoken to them for years?
I would do it, but I think it is dickheadish.
Do you?
Yeah.
So you'd ignore them?
Well, yeah, like if like we were talking about the other week when we were at these networking events, you know people from 15 years ago, and you kind of look at them, and then you turn away,
I know you,
and then you've got to make that decision of, do I go over and be like, hi, or you've got to then ignore them, and once you've made that decision to ignore them, you've committed. So if they then come over to you and go, oh hi, I thought it was you, then you've got to be like, oh my god, same. So I think it is a bit dickheadish to do it, but at the same time I would absolutely do it.
You cannot avoid me. I'm so sorry. I will walk down the street and go, hiya, oh my god, hi, how are you?
I love that.
Like, I just can't help it. Like my mouth, it thinks quicker than my brain.
Yeah.
And before I know it, I've already said hi to you. So you are going to get a hi whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
So soz. Am I being a dickhead if I bring my own food to an event because I know no one else will want to eat? So like if you're dieting, for example.
No, you're not a dickhead.
No?
No.
And if you were having a meal, if you're going for a meal with someone and you were being really good, but you were being really, really good, and it wasn't very healthy, like say like it's a burger place or whatever, would you take your own food?
No. I'd just say, I'm just going to have a side salad, or I'd have just made sure during the day that I'd not really eaten much, and I'd just have some chips, or I'd try and find the healthiest thing. I'd have a burger and just not eat the bun.
Yeah.
You know, I'd just have something. Yeah, and kind of have a side salad instead of the chips.
Yeah.
Don't take your own food to a
Not
restaurant.
a dickhead. So you're a dickhead if you take your own food?
Yeah, you're a dickhead.
Yeah. Okay,
yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
Just clear that up.
Do you agree?
Yeah, I actually don't really care.
I think if you go into Mackey's, don't care. If you want to take your own food, take your own food.
Yeah.
If you go into a restaurant, and you go in with your own food, I'd rather you eat before you come and just sit there with a glass of water.
Yeah.
Than bring your own packed lunch.
Yeah. And eat it at the table.
Stop it, undoing your sandwich foil.
Pause. I'd be like, just give me a minute. I also got my tuna pasta.
Oh no.
No, fair. Am I being a dickhead if I RSVP yes to an event but then don't show up?
It depends on the event. If it's a networking event, don't care. Obviously I do networking, it's very important. But
if it's a large event that you're just kind of holding for a large amount of people, then it's not so much.
If there's like less than 20 people, you're a dickhead.
Yeah.
Because you've been invited out of a small group of people, you've been chosen. If it's RSVP to an event where there's 150 people going and you're just on the invite list because you're, I don't know, in that industry or someone knows you'd like it, you know, then no.
And if you RSVP'd and then just didn't follow up either, completely ghosted, like the event didn't, like you never even got invited to, would you say that was a dickhead move? I would.
You would?
Yeah.
I honestly really think
it's acknowledgement for me. Like if people don't turn up, it's I'm really sorry, something's come up, I can't get out of it. I won't be able to make tonight.
Yeah.
If they say they're gonna come,
and
then all of a sudden it's just tumbleweed.
Yeah.
I'd be like, are you okay? Are you alive?
Totally agree. For anything that I do, just FYI, everyone, if you don't message me to why you're not coming, I'm mad.
Yeah.
I expect that, people. Yeah. I'm mad. Yeah. And the likelihood is, rather than showing you I'm mad, I will just be quiet because I don't want us to fall out. I don't want it to be the end of my friendship. No. But I'm annoyed.
Yeah.
I'm annoyed.
You're pissed.
Yeah. Like we were talking about before this pod, it's the valuing someone else's time. I particularly think as you grow up, I think it's so rude to not value someone else's time.
Yeah.
I don't care if I have 10 kids or no kids.
Yeah.
My life is still busy and I still have shit going on.
Yeah, like when you make a commitment and you say you're going to be there.
Yeah.
Don't flake.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you obviously have a valid reason, which you would do.
100%.
That's it.
And that is the thing.
And that is a valid. You've got to make the valid
totally
reason,
agree. I think turning around someone, even if it's on the day, and saying, "I'm really sorry, my kid's sick. I'm really sorry.
Something.
I'm not well. I'm sorry, my dad's in hospital."
Just an acknowledgement to say, "I'm really sorry.
I'm not going to make it."
Yeah.
I think ghosting someone
completely.
Yeah. So if the question is like ghosting someone for an event that they've organised like a party or a christening, something, and then just not turning up, I think you're a dickhead. You're 100% a dickhead. If it's for just a big event that you've been invited to because you're on a guest list, you know, then you're not a dickhead. Whatever. Like if you then can't go, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
Am I a dickhead if I correct someone's grammar in a group chat, even if you've got, it's auto corrected?
Like, you're a dick.
Yeah, I just don't.
Why?
Like, people type so quick. I am always misspelling things all the time. So like, I wouldn't even bat an eyelid.
No, I would maybe.
As long as I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I would maybe laugh at someone and be like, "Ha!" But only if they again put something really silly.
Boat instead of boast, or boast instead of boat, or whatever.
Like, "Ha, that's so funny." I remember once at the end of an email, I'd put something like, "Thank you, tits." And it was meant to be like thanks, and someone replied being like tits. I was like, oh my god,
at least you can find that like the light-heartedness in it. It's like not too bad,
but
is it?
Yeah, I mean, if you're just commenting on someone's grammar in a WhatsApp,
I know
you have too much time on your hand.
Too much. Am I a dickhead if I hit shuffle during a car ride and skip 8 songs in a row because the vibe isn't vibing? You know, like when you say like, I'm not gonna say it, but like, Alexa, play this song, or play this playlist, and then all of a sudden you're like, I don't like any of these songs.
I do it all the time.
Do you?
All the time. Yeah.
Just put what you want on then.
No, because I'm expecting her
to know what you want.
So if I'm saying, Alexa, play 90s R&B, and then it brings me some absolute shockers, I'm like, Alexa, skip.
You expect to be a mind reader.
Alexa, skip. And then I go, right, shut up. And then I'm like, okay, Google, and I'll speak to the one downstairs.
Traitor.
Because sometimes, like, I don't just want to listen to Beyonce's Lemonade album. Like, I want a bit. Well,
there's an app on Spotify. I don't know if you've got Spotify, but on Spotify you've got DJ. And you press DJ and it plays all the songs that you listen to. So I think it's obviously an AI thing, and it's like it listens to what you like, takes what you've listened to and liked and enjoyed, and then replayed it back.
Great. Do you know what our problem is? Me and Jamie have the same Spotify.
So
songs. Jamie's got.
Me and Pun have the same one. Yeah. But to be fair, me and Pun have the same taste.
We do on a lot of things, but there are some times that it will come on and it'll be like Nora Jones, or it'll be like
Pink Pony Club or something.
It'll be something really chill. Or on the flip side of that, it's like heavy rap. Yeah. And I am like, no, and I'll go skip, like rap. Skip. I do, but I need to be in the mood for it. I need to have my sunnies on.
I like grime, like grimy trap rap music.
But you've got to be in the mood for it, don't you?
It's like that Instagram where it's like listening to grime and rap and trap music on the way to M&S to buy
Bertie Pigs.
Literally, that is so me. Like, I love Eminem. Yeah, like Godzilla to me is Chef's kiss. And literally, when I put that on, it just gets me like really like riled into it and really into it. But it just makes me laugh because I'm like all good, like in this dress, for example. Yeah. In the traffic lights, I'm listening to like everyone's pulling up like.
I've really got to be in a certain mood. Like if I've just woken up after a nap and I'm thinking, right, I'm just had a shower, I'm going to get ready. I need zen, I need chill,
calmness.
I want nice,
I get you.
But then as the party's starting, maybe I've got a pre-drink, a gin.
Slowly gets better and faster and
bring
stuff,
me
whatever.
Yeah,
fair.
So no, you're not a dickhead.
Am I a dickhead if I pretend to be on a call so I don't have to let on someone I know in the supermarket?
No. I do it. Yeah,
I do. I sometimes go, I was like, I'm so sorry, I've got to take this. It's like, I don't want to chat. I'm sorry. I just want to get in, do my food shop and get out. And that only needs to be a 30-second conversation. And then I can theoretically put the phone down and crack on with my day.
I know. I mean, this is so bad. And I promise I don't do it often. But sometimes I don't even want to wave to someone. So,
you said you want to let it on to everyone.
I know.
To be fair, I did that.
But like, if I'm in the car, and I see someone that I know walking towards the car, and I know that like I'm going slow, so I could wind the window down and be like, "Oh, hi, you all right?" And I think, "Oh, I can't be arsed."
Yeah, but just a wave. You have to do that.
No, because I'm driving slow. Like it happened to me near the gym, and someone was walking, and they were going to cross the road, and they're walking to me, and I thought, "Oh," so I just turned to Jamie and was like, "Anyway, da 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 da," and I thought if I look deep in conversation, they'll be like, "Oh, she's just busy chatting, isn't she?"
Yeah.
So I'm all right.
But also, when you're driving, you're distracted. You're trying to focus.
Yeah, but if I'm not driving,
no,
but also if I'm driving, don't expect away from me because I don't see anyone or anything. I am in my zone, probably belting out some song. Probably
in a
Beyonce
4x4,
or something.
singing at the top of your lungs with your sunglasses on.
Yeah. You know it. No.
And then the last one, am I a dickhead if I use a fake cough to avoid contact with others? I'm not gonna lie, I have only used this if like, and you're gonna laugh at me and I'm actually properly fully outing myself here, but if I was like going on a walk on my own, at the moment it seems to be rife with like kids on bikes near me. I don't know why. It's like it's the heat, it's getting to them. They all seem to be like hovering around, and obviously it can be quite intimidating for girls like on their own that are walking the dog or whatever. So I just like make it look like I've got like a flu, because no one's going to want to come near me if I've got the flu, despite...
Who's coming near you on a walk, though?
No, but like, because obviously, like, there's been quite a few different people being, like, trying to get phones and bikes and nick stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
So whereas I'm like... no one's going to come near me.
That is so extreme.
Yeah. I mean,
oh my God. That is hilarious.
Listen, ain't nobody coming near me if I'm like coughing.
Ain't nobody coming
near you. If you see me all of a sudden on a walk going...
we need to get you some sort of like bracelet or like necklace with like daggers on or something to be like, don't come near me.
Spike choker.
Yeah. Or, you know, on your bum bag, maybe have like a very obvious pepper spray or something like that. So if anyone's coming near, you can be like...
I think I've got like a really overactive imagination, but also there's been a lot of things on the Facebook group recently, and I feel like these community groups definitely like humble you / scare you / whatever. But also, like, I never used to be scared in like walking around whatever. These days, kids do not care. They've got no respect. Well, they've got no respect. They've got no fear. They do not care about their elders. They just don't give a shit, basically. And I think they need to learn some goddamn respect. But I just think that a cough is a little bit more sensitive to those. You know?
I thought you meant like when you go somewhere and there's a couple of people and you think, I don't want to hug you, I don't really like you, and you just go, sorry, I've got a bit of a cold, I've got a bit of a cough, I don't want to give it to you.
To be honest, I've done, I had to do that as well, to be honest. But no, I'm not a dickhead for that. I don't think I'm a dickhead.
No,
I am absolutely.
I think you're weird. You're a bit strange, but you're not a dickhead. You just
trust me, guys.
Hilarious.
It works.
Well, do you know what? Speaking of dickheads, I thought it'd be good, and I thought a lot of our listeners would like to talk about this because, you know, dickheads are a thing.
Yes.
But I thought we could talk a bit about cheating and, you know, experiences and stuff. Now, you have basically been with porn all your life.
My whole life, yeah.
So I guess for you, it's difficult to talk about because it's not really happened to you. Like, you and Pun have been tight pretty much from day one. Yeah. Like, obviously, over the years.
People try, though. People try get in, don't they?
Yeah, of course they do. And, like, from being 12.
I think, like, I think people... I don't know what it is. I think like people sometimes see it as a challenge. Yeah. And it's like, absolutely not me.
This is what I mean. Like, obviously you've known Pun since you were 6 and got together when you were like 12, 13, something like that. So in all those years and now being 30, there has been the likelihood that people have come into your DMs or slid into Pun's DMs you know, so I want to, I've got a few questions for you.
Okay.
So, like, what do we think is cheating? So, where's the line? Because I think sometimes it can be quite grey.
Okay.
You know, yes, having sex with another woman is cheating. Not. But I think there's definitely areas where you think, maybe for you, you might be like, no, that's definitely cheating. But for others, it's not. So, chatting to someone in a bar, you know, a woman comes up to the bar. Let's use women and men as in, so if a woman comes up to you, fella in a bar, and you just stood at the bar, and she comes over and she's like, oh, I like your jacket.
Yeah.
Like, and he goes, oh, thank you, and they have a bit of a chat.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Couldn't care less.
Don't care.
No. I mean, if someone likes the look of my man, good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want someone that's fanciable.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Fine.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think it's absolutely fine.
And also, like, you can say that to your mates. I say that like to my mates.
Yeah.
Someone looks nice. They look nice.
Yeah. But at what point do you think? Okay, enough. Like, is there a point in conversation? Is there
if they start saying like, "Oh, can I have your number?" or "Do you fancy going
but
for
is
a
there like a
coffee?"
time
or
frame?
whatever?
You know, if your fella was if they were on a lads' night out, but they were stood at the bar for 45 minutes chatting to this woman, and they kind of got deep about family or whatever.
No,
you know, you're not asked.
No, not really.
Oh, I think I'd be a bit bothered. I think I just would wonder
what they're chatting about.
What are they chatting about, and why is chatting to my husband for 45 minutes better than who you're out with?
I mean, Pun probably wouldn't sit still for 45 minutes.
Yeah,
not
no,
gonna lie.
Same.
He has no interest whatsoever.
But I think I'd start being like...
He'd definitely be like, "Oh, sorry, mate, I've got to go back to the lads now."
But that's what I'd expect.
Yeah.
You'd expect after a couple of minutes for him to be like... If they found it that interesting, the chat that interesting to stay there for 45 minutes.
I don't think they would.
No, I know, but...
Unless you're talking about cars.
Yeah.
Or like, I don't know...
Yeah.
I don't know, games or true. Warhammer, you've got no chance, mate. I mean, even I can't keep his interest sometimes. And he's like switched off. He's like, "Sorry, what did you just say?"
Oh my God, same. 5 minutes and Jamie's
Unless you're talking about BMWs, I'm an out. Yeah, literally.
Right, okay. Liking pictures on Insta.
Not bothered.
Not bothered.
I mean, obviously, like, I think this is circumstantial. I think if a girl's in a bikini and it's someone that we know, then maybe. Because obviously that would be someone that is close to us. Mm-hmm. If it's a celebrity in a bikini,
not asked.
Could not give a shit. Yeah. Pun's actual type could not be further from me.
Really? What's his type?
Hermione Granger.
Really?
Well, it was years ago.
Yeah.
Basically, very, very up and down.
Yeah.
He does love an ass, fair, but he does love. It's like she is very an up and down girl, and I think she's very plain, very natural.
Girl next door.
Girl next door vibes.
Yeah,
I'm obviously like.
I mean,
nowhere near
to be fair, you're looking a bit girl next door in your dress.
Honey.
Yeah.
Giving Miss Honey vibes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just don't feel like. I mean, obviously, I really don't. He's stuck with me now, so.
Well, you clearly
you ain't got no say in the matter whether you're the type or not, hon. But yeah, I definitely think that. I don't know. I don't think anyone does have a proper type, do they? But yeah. No, I think But and if it was like girls, like if there was like a girl gang all out and they're having drinks or whatever, and he's liked it, I'm like, whatever. Like it's obviously a nice picture or whatever.
Yeah. I kind of feel the same. I think if he was like in your picture on Instagram or whatever,
yeah.
I'd be like, sound like your friends, like you are friends. Maybe it would be different if he didn't like your normal pictures, but then you were in a bikini and he liked that one. Then I'd maybe be like,
bit sus.
Yeah, like, yes, she looks great, but she also looks great clothed.
It depends on the relationships, I think.
Yeah.
Like, there's been, like, obviously girls that are mates, I get it. Like, you know someone, I don't know, girls have got this weird gut.
Sixth sense.
That tells them whether this person is a friend or a foe. And I think you know whether someone's a friend. And I think as well, like, I don't know, I think because we've been together so we treat everyone like mate. Like, we say, "Oh, thanks, mate. You're all right, mate." And I call people lad. And do you know what I mean? Like, I just say mate all the time. "Hi, mate. You okay?" Everyone knows that I say mate. I don't know. He's exactly the same as me. He says mate all the time. Yeah. I don't know why. We even call each other, like, sometimes instead of babe, he goes, "You all right, lad?" Yeah. Just because we are. That's just how I don't know. It just is like how we are. So yes, like I think it's circumstantial. Yeah. Very circumstantial, but very rare. I mean, small minority.
Yeah, I definitely am not really bothered. Yeah. Like, and when it comes to celebrities or people, influencers, and he's liking their pictures.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, Jamie, if you're listening, don't be now sneaking off liking all these pictures.
Like.
Yeah, you know, like if it's just someone from YouTube or whatever, and he's liking the pictures, like I'm not really bothered. Yeah. Like,
because obviously there's two things that go hand in hand, and it's like cars and girls. If girls are posing on a car, they're obviously going to like that, aren't they?
Yeah. So
you'd be shocked. I mean, I like it. I like to be honest, I've got very good taste in women, so I can appreciate a good pic.
Yeah, same. I think maybe it's the way that we are though as people as well. Like I would like that, and I'd
Hun, if I look like that on my Instagram, I'd be posting it too. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm definitely more like a girl's girl in terms of like, I fire people up. I want you to look your absolute best. I will get an Instagram picture of you, whether I have to fucking squat on the floor, lie down flat, jump up high, get a chair, you know, I'll be there and I'll make sure you get that Instagram picture because you look
10 out of 10.
Spicy. Yeah. So, and I'm all for it. So I get it. I completely get it.
So you don't mind your fella then appreciating that they look great? Because also
my photography skills, I do not mind. Probably I'm the one that's getting down low to get these shots. You know what I mean? Like,
yes. I totally agree. I think it's fine. On the whole, it's fine. Sometimes not fine, but on the whole, fine. Replying to someone on social. So someone slides into the DMs and then you reply.
No, not bothered.
Not bothered.
Well, it depends again if it's someone that you know or someone that you don't.
We're talking someone that you don't know.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, we're not talking me sliding into Fun's DM being like, hey, hon, how are you? But even then you'd be like, you okay?
Yeah.
But, you know, it's...
If it's someone that you don't know and they're just sliding in and they just slide in. I'd be like, I'd be saying that's suspicious.
I think, for me, it's definitely the response. So if you then reply and you're thinking, I don't know who this is, so you go, hey, like, sorry, do I know you? And they reply being like, oh yeah, I just saw you, so thought I'd just drop in your DMs or whatever.
Oh right,
and then your fella then replied.
That's that.
Even though there was nothing, even though nothing really came of it, but a conversation occurred, even if it was just for a few minutes. My thing would be, why did you feel like you needed to reply once you'd found out that they didn't know you?
Yeah. But again, that's like, I think that's a circumstantial thing, isn't it? It's someone that you don't know saying something like, hi.
But what about because I think this is maybe how a lot of cheating starts, is if it's someone that you do know, so you're friendly with them, but let's say they've recently come out of a relationship, you're friendly with them, they slide into your DMs, you're then having a nice chat. Where's the line then where it goes from being fine because you're friends, like we've been out with them, we've gone for meals with them, to going not fine? Is it the time of day that they're messaging? Is it like, because it might not just go from hey, how are you, to oh my god, send me a pic of your dick. It might it'll
Damn, no, I'm joking.
It'll so slowly get there. Yeah, so what point would you have expected your partner to have nipped that in the bud?
Well, is it someone that we've been out with as like a double date? So we double dated and then they got rid of their partner for whatever reason, or something happened, or whatever, like, and then they're still continuing to message him.
Yeah.
Or were they friends with me first, or were they friends with him first?
Don't know.
It's all circumstantial.
Fine, friends with you.
If they were friends with me first, then they've got obviously a loyalty to me.
Yeah, but bear in mind that you've been with Pun for 15, 16 years, so your friends are his friends, you know.
Well, to be honest, Pun will just turn around and say, this person, you know, I've got no mates, but like, oh, Becky's messaged me.
Yeah.
Becky with the good hair.
Yeah, Becky with the good hair.
Becky's messaged me just to say how I am.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
That's a bit weird.
I think that is the difference, isn't it? So for me,
if something was out the blue, Pun was a bit like, oh, that's a bit weird or odd or whatever, he would mention it in conversation. Yeah. He might just say, oh, I was like, oh, how's your day? And you go, oh yeah, it's fine, but Becky messaged me today. It's really weird. Like,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And I think that's it. I think it's the way that they then communicate that with you.
Yeah. If they're being fishy and like
and then all of a sudden, like, you're on your phone next to one another and you see that person and you go,
I get
what have you been talking about with?
It's really hard because, like, I mean, I used to have male friends. I mean, don't have male friends anymore because they obviously get girlfriends and then they sort of slope off. But Pun has female friends because he's got loads of female friends and don't really bat an eyelid at that.
Yeah. I suppose it is like what you go into your relationship with, though.
I think it's like how you meet, how they are around you and your partner, and how things, and like how often you go out and do things, and how inclusive you are. I think, but obviously, if you're like a really shady person, then obviously that's just boo you.
I know. I think it's difficult though, isn't it? Because you become so friendly with these people that, you know, we have couple friends that we go out with every weekend, every other weekend. We go for drinks with, like, we are friends. I'm friends with the boy. I'm friends with the girl.
Exactly. It's like, and that's the thing, because we've been friends for because we've been together for such a long time. Our friends are like his friends and my friends. Like, they're both our friends jointly. So there's no like really separation now anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they'd be select few, as in like the girl gang that we go out with, but apart from that, like, no, it's just kind of blended now. It just is what it is.
So I think it's just then, you know, in years to come, you know, when breakups potentially
it's when like a new
happening.
person comes in, like a new person might start work or whatever, and you're kind of like, okay, who's this person you're going out with more often, blah blah blah. But even then, it's like,
I get you. How do you feel about your partner watching porn?
Not bothered.
Same, not bothered at all.
Everyone does
it. I honestly know people that are
obviously, like, I would prefer there's two things about this. One, I would prefer him, if he wanted it, to come to me first. Yeah. Because I will never refuse. Yeah. Very rarely.
I will. Sometimes just can't be asked.
Oh, well, if you're tired, I get it. But like, it's rare.
On the whole,
we'd rather do the real thing. Yeah. Yeah. Secondly, if you've got kinks and quirks and whatever you might be interested in, like, I would prefer you to discuss it with me first, rather than just going off to your shady bedroom and decide to do it on your own. Yeah. But also, like, I think we've been together for such a long time. We're very open. We're very like, whatever.
Yeah. I'm not bothered.
No, I'm not.
All.
I don't know why you would be. I mean, obviously, like, if he's like having one off every 2 minutes and not giving you anything, then that's different, because he'd rather have sex with his hand rather than have sex with you. Yeah. But I think if he's doing both, then
because I just think,
as long as you're satisfied, that is the main thing. Yeah, and despite what anyone else thinks, as long as you're satisfied and you're comfortable and confident in yourself, what you're happy with is what you're happy with.
I totally agree. Yeah. I think.
But also, like, if you're against it, I also get that as well. So yeah.
But I you know what? I don't know whether I do get it. I don't know whether I fully understand.
If someone's against it.
I don't know why.
It depends, because it's like, can't be one rule for one rule for another. That means that you can't do it.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I know other women do watch it, but I don't really. Like, it's never really been a thing for me. Okay. I've never really been interested. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's just never really been a thing.
You don't need to. You've got the guy on the estate that does it for you.
Well, that is very true. Listen to pod 5 and 6.
Is it 5 and 6? Yeah. Oh my God, it was so long ago. Yeah. But we had the porn house man.
Yeah, basically, to quickly recap, there was a man on our estate, and I'm taking Rosie for a dog walk.
He was a nudist. He was a nudist.
Definitely.
He was more of a display kind of guy. He liked to get everything out.
Yeah. And we're walking past one day, and there is a big butt with a big willy
on the screen.
And me and Jamie were like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Yes.
And we must, I mean,
he's obviously into some deep shit.
I mean, these days when people have got a 70-inch TV, things look big.
I mean, 70 inches is a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, and then a few weeks later, I was on another walk, and he stood there, butt naked in the window.
Loves it, absolute display.
Willy out and everything.
That's a question I wanted to ask you, actually. Would you ever go to like a nudist party or nudist event?
No. I don't think, as in butt naked.
So I read an article literally this morning, actually, on well, not purposely going out, it's on my Facebook, and it was basically like, there's a campsite that everyone escapes to over the summertime, and they're all naturists, and they're saying that, like, they don't really like people being like sexualized and stuff, but basically they just love being free of clothing, but they can't do it in the winter because obviously they catch pneumonia. So they do it in the summer. So they wait for the summer months, and they all go to like a campsite, like a caravan site or whatever, and they all just walk around nude. And once they've shut the gate, no one can get in or out. Right. And unless obviously you want to get out, you can get out. But in terms of like the public can't see in, so it means that it's very private. I don't think I could ever do that in my entire life.
You know, if it was underwear, then
underwear, not bothered.
Not bothered.
Nude, not
nude.
So much.
I don't really want my nun to be that free.
Yeah.
You know, I like that it's
not for me.
Packaged in a nice little knicker.
Yeah. Everyone's got the same bits and pieces. Yeah. But I really, really feel strongly at the fact that, like, there's a certain boundary level that should not be crossed
in public.
I feel like I don't really want to see people's willies flapping around in my face. I don't really want to see people's nuns slapping around in my face either.
Same.
So I mean, obviously each to their own. If you like it, go for it. Yeah. But I personally am not a nudist gal.
Well, again, I don't know if I spoke about this on a pod early doors, but we went to Barcelona about 2 years ago, and we ended up on a nudist beach.
Oh,
Didn't
yeah,
know.
you said.
We said, went down. And there was
and you couldn't stop staring at her boobs.
Oh my God, boobs. Yeah, but I actually don't mind a boob. I quite enjoy seeing a boob.
I feel like everyone in the 70s, 80s, 90s always used to get the boobs out when they'd suntan. Yeah. When they were on the beach, like everyone used to get the boobs out, didn't they? Yeah.
So I actually quite enjoy a boob.
Yeah.
But there was this guy and he had his son and he had like a walker stick and he was wearing a hat, this man. And
like he was going to go hiking.
Yeah, like he was hiking and they were walking like on the the sandy dune rock type things. Yeah. And he had this massive willy just hanging down and his son was running around like, oh, look, Dad. And I was like,
oh my God.
Yeah, I couldn't help myself but be like, what? Wow. Like, I was like, Jamie. I mean, we're on a nudist beach. So
you expect it.
Well, yeah, but we didn't know we were on a nudist beach. Yeah. I just saw this man with his large willy just dangling around. But I suppose if you're well endowed like that, you probably want to go to nudist beaches to be like, yeah, look at me. Yeah. But obviously he was just with his son.
Oh my God.
Walking around and I was just like, what and wow, because it was a lot. It was a lot. And it just, I don't know, nude. It's the lower regions for me. Yes. I don't know why you want to get it out. I think men like getting it out because they like to just twizzle it around and flap it and do things. But as a woman, it's just neat and tidy in there. Let it stay.
Yeah,
I agree. Stay as it wants to be.
I agree.
But yeah.
Sorry, was there any more?
There was.
We did sidetrack there.
We did sidetrack, but I always think porn is quite an interesting one because I definitely know people who are like, absolutely not. If I found my husband watching porn, we'd break up. But for me, I just don't really get it because I just don't get it because I think
I'll be like, oh, is that your warm up?
Yeah,
literally. Yeah. I mean, obviously, if I walked in on him, I'd be like, okay.
I think, like you say,
should I come back later?
I think, like you say, it all comes down to the circumstance because if they were doing it instead of coming to you,
then obviously you're going to be upset.
But if I'm,
but you're going to think there's something wrong with you, or maybe that you don't turn him on, or that you don't hit those whatever he's searching for on his history or whatever. Yeah. Maybe you don't hit that criteria.
But if I'm away, then it's absolutely fine. Yeah. If I've been, like a week or two and I've been like, I'm just not feeling it.
Yeah, again, it's your fault. Not your fault, but like you don't want it. Yeah,
then, I'm happy. 100%. So I really don't mind. Yeah. But I think, I guess communication is good if you're doing it all the time.
Yeah, I think communication. I don't think it's good to not. Manc.
Okay, well, what about then OnlyFans? If your fella's going on OnlyFans, how do you feel about that?
I don't know. I feel a bit different about that because he's going to give someone money. It's different. I do think it's different. He is going out of his way to pay someone, to line someone else's pocket. Yeah. To pay. I don't know because I feel like if he went to a strip club and got a striptease,
not asked.
I wouldn't be asked. Same. And he'd put money in a pocket there.
Yeah, same.
So it's kind of, I don't know.
I know.
I don't think I would mind.
I know. I think
again, it depends on the who person. It is and what it is.
Let's just say Kelly Brook was on OnlyFans because a lot of celebs are now.
Stunning. And well, I'd actually say, can I log into your OnlyFans to see what's going on? Because I wouldn't
have a joint account.
Maybe again, that's it. I think that's so important, isn't it, in a relationship, is to share your fantasies, kinks, whatever, with your partner, and then they can get involved in it. Because otherwise, they just feel like an outsider, and it's just not. There's more fun when it's both of you.
Definitely. And if you've got one thing and that partner doesn't,
exactly,
that's fine. Yeah, but I think if they just
join together,
if they just had a really strong, oh my God, I'm just obsessed with Kelly Brook. Like I just love her figure. And they could pay for her to get her boobs out.
I mean, she's stunning.
Yeah, then. Again,
also I'm curious. Like, I would love to see someone. I mean, I'm not willing to pay anybody, but I would love to see what kind of content an OnlyFans creator does. Yeah. I mean, do they just shake the bum and shake the boobs? Do they do a dance?
I think you can go as little or as big as you want.
Oh really?
Really? Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, I am intrigued. I think you'd be weird if you wasn't intrigued. Yeah. And I think that's the whole part of this OnlyFans thing. I think it captures your attention. It gets you to sign up. Then slowly you see all the free content, and then before you know it, you're like, oh, it's only a few quid or whatever. Yeah. You pay for a video or a picture, and before you know it, then start paying, subscribing, whatever, and that's how it evolves. And completely get why that happens, and I get why they make so much money from it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would do it.
I mean, babes, if I was fucking gorgeous,
you are?
No, as in like, if I was like, the bells and whistles, stunning, I'd be on OnlyFans, babes.
Yeah, same.
There'd be a line for me personally. I wouldn't get my bits out, and I wouldn't like have sex and all that stuff. But I would dance around in my underwear, no problem.
Same. And you can have a little foot. You can.
Oh, absolutely,
whatever you want,
absolutely.
whatever kind of thing you're into.
Maybe my next lifetime.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm going to try and work hard to earn cash this way.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work out and I pass, then in my next life, I'll come back as an OnlyFans
And as we know from Olivia Atwood's Getting Filthy Rich, listen, if we don't do it by the time we're 50, 60, we can just be a granny on OnlyFans.
Absolutely. You whap those baps out, honey.
That apparently is the most searched for porn and
gilfs.
Grannies. Yeah, gilfs.
Yeah. Why not?
The men love it.
They love it.
But yeah, so that's really it. Because then, other than that, I had kissing on a night out and sex. Obviously, they are both cheating. Yeah. What do you think on recovery from that? So, kissing on a night out, you know, fellas absolutely steaming. You've had maybe a couple of months of maybe not being yourselves, arguing. I don't know, maybe you've had a young
There's obviously an issue with the relationship. So I think that'd be something where you'd sit down, you'd have a chat about how you're both feeling about the situation, and then you'd work on it from there.
Yeah.
I think everyone these days are so quick to, there's too much choice out there.
Mm-hmm.
So for anyone dating, you've got no chance because there's always going to be something that's better or what you think is better. The grass is never greener, but they always think it's greener. But then I also think it's like, how are you feeling? How are they feeling? Like, where have you gone wrong? Why are you not on the same path? Is there a reason why you're going different directions? Because like when you're growing up together, obviously in a relationship, when you've been together for such a long time, you are changing as a person. I don't feel like you're not the same person. I'm not the same person I was when I was 12 years old.
Yeah.
You're not the same person when you met Jamie. Exactly. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're always evolving and growing. So I think it is just communication. I think anything with a relationship is communication and just talking things through.
I think it's hard, isn't it? Because unless you're in that situation, but I do think a lot of people, when they maybe they have a big, raucous night out and they're with the lads and it's other men, and maybe you've got a couple of men that are divorced already, and you've been they've been telling you how amazing it is to be out on the town again, and then you're thinking,
I think it's who you surround yourself with. Though, can I just say? So I actually think, like, if you're the only one that's taken in your friendship circle and everyone else is single, I think you're going to live not a lonely time, but it's just going to be that you're constantly, you don't need to wing woman people. So there is no point you going, I mean, obviously go out to enjoy yourself, but it has to be a girls' night. You're not, your girls out or your boys aren't going out to pull. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like if you're on a night out and all, like, say lads are on a night out and all the lads are pulling and you're not, you're just going to sit there like a melon.
Yeah, I know.
You just wouldn't go out.
No.
That's not fun. You're just gonna not enjoy it. So you might as well just not bother.
I think it's hard though when you plan to go on a lads' night out, girls' night out with the intention to catch up, but after six glasses of wine. But then maybe that's just your time to go home. When they start getting a bit.
I mean, I've jibbed off for nights out before today when my mate's been like, "Oh, this guy's really fit. I want to get off of him." I'm like, "Okay, no worries." I'm like, "Are you going to be safe? Like, can you make sure you message me at different times?" Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then I've said, "Punk, can you come and get me?"
Yeah.
I've done that a few times.
Yeah, which is absolutely fair.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on? Obviously, I guess it's quite hard for you because you've literally been with pun all your life. I, however, have had many a boyfriend and many a partner.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? I suppose your thoughts will be that it's absolutely fine and normal, but on having just one partner for all of your life or having a few, like, what do you think the pros and cons are of both, basically?
I think if you found your person and they are your person, do not let them go.
Yeah.
Like, I am talking, you need to koala bear the shit out of that thing and do not let them go, because it's so hard to find.
It is.
It's so hard. And me and Porn, we are the same person.
Mm-hmm.
We are so alike. And the same with you and Jamie. Like, I feel like even though you and Jamie are very different in certain ways, you're very alike, and like you both have the same sort of the way of thinking towards other people, like your frame of mind, your opinions on things, the same goals, the same mindset. Everything's like you're all aligned.
Yeah. Well, you just become one, don't
and
you?
I feel like you do, and I feel like you almost mold to each other. I just think that like if you find, obviously you're gonna go through. I mean, I'm not. You're gonna go through. You're gonna kiss a lot of frogs to find your prince, whatever. But like, not every single person is compatible. There might be some things that might piss you off, whatever. But the one thing I would say is that as you get older, you become more sure of what you want in life. You become more sure of yourself, and you're more confident as a person. So I can imagine, I mean, I don't know, but I can imagine from friends that have spoken to me that it's a lot harder to find someone that will fit into your life as opposed to you trying to fit into their life. So like, for example, like I've got friends that have got great careers, they've got a house, they've got a great job, like, do you know what I mean? Like they've got everything going for them. They're absolutely gorgeous inside and out, and they can't find someone to then add to their lives because they're either like, I don't know, I feel like guys are, it's a lot easier. I feel like girls are very much more relationship material than guys. I think guys think that there's always going to be something better out there. And I know that that's obviously me, like, stereotyping, But I think girls are fucking gorgeous these days. Like, there is so much out there now. You could have whatever you want: blonde, red, brunettes, black hair. You know, you could have the pale gals, you could have the tan gals, freckly gals, you could have the short, small, petite, big, big junk in the trunk, not so much big boobs. You got it. You could basically click order. There's that many girls out there. However, and they're all beautiful. However, with the guys, I feel like they just don't know where to look, don't know where to...
Because there's so much choice
just
almost.
Like, malfunction because there's just so much gorgeousness in the world. Whereas girls are just like, I just want a decent
nice
guy, settle down, treat me right and crack on.
I know. I think it's the treating you right though.
And I think the girls, when they find someone, they're like not letting you go, but it does probably take you a little bit more teething to find that person.
Yeah, because I was just going to say, I think that maybe a struggle, especially as you get older and maybe you've been through a few relationships, is that you kind of do know what you want a bit more. So then trying to meet someone to complement that and who fulfills that. You're more like, okay, well, actually, I know
it's just harder.
I think, like, you know, I've had 5 boyfriends, so I actually know that this doesn't work for me, that doesn't work for me, that doesn't work for me, that doesn't work. But
this is what I need from someone.
I like this, that, and the other. So then you become a bit more picky, and then you think, should I settle with this person because I do like this, this, and this, but they don't have this, this, and this, but also
because everyone's got flaws, and it's all about negotiating and meeting each other halfway. Like, no one's perfect. Like, you might leave wet towels on the bed and they don't like that, or they might not put things in the washing basket and you might not. Do you know what I mean? Like, things like, there's going to be things that are going to irritate you, but you just need to pick and choose your battles of which are more important to you.
But it's difficult to know, because especially like if you've been in a relationship for, let's say, 15 years, and then you go, Joe, what, it's not working, we're breaking up, and then you go to meet a new person, you're thinking, firstly, I've only ever known this. So then it's even harder, because you're like, okay, well, I don't actually know whether the way you're treating me is amazing, because the only thing I've got to relate it to is that. But then imagine having that like 5 times. So then you've been with 5 people.
You just get bored.
It's difficult to know whether having many relationships is actually in the long run a blessing or a curse, or having one is a blessing or a curse, because like I said, there's pros and cons to both, isn't there? So it's like, if you have loads of boyfriends, then you think, well, I know what I do and don't want, because I've had all of the above, so now you have to fit into this box.
But can I just say, I don't think people label themselves as boyfriend girlfriend anymore.
Really?
Everyone keeps saying, oh, I'm seeing this guy, or I'm seeing that guy, or because they're not like, I don't know, there's different wordings, isn't there, for different relationships. So if you're seeing someone, you're not going out with them officially, and then it's if you're exclusive, you're not going out with them officially, but you are not seeing anybody else.
Oh yeah, then you girlfriend boyfriend, aren't you?
Who knows?
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think it's one of those things that, but I think a lot of people, I think girls date to marry, as in like they date to find that person that they want to spend the rest of their lives with. Guys date just for fun.
Some guys definitely date.
Again, stereotyping, sorry, guilty, but that's what it comes across as. Guys are very quick to make comments in the DMs, friends, saying like, fancy going away this weekend for the night, or fancy going back to mine after we've been for dinner or whatever. That to me screams you don't want something serious.
But do you not think though it's so weird, because I know from my past experience that when I've just slept with men, like just randomly, it's never good. It's never, ever, ever good.
No, it's not enjoyable.
No, it's not enjoyable. Don't.
Yeah, but it's not about the girl. It's about the guy. The guy's not bothered as long as he's getting some. Do you know what I mean? This is what I'm saying. So for a girl, the girls aren't asked about the one night stands as much. I mean, obviously, if you are good for you, honey, you go for it. But also, like, I just don't feel like you get anything from it, like you say.
It's different.
Whereas a guy, they just want to get as many gals as possible.
Definitely, it's different for them. But even then, I actually don't think they fully enjoy it. I think it's just another notch on the bedpost.
Depends how banging the gal is, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I suppose. But I think it's just I've shagged her.
Yeah.
Whereas I know from my experience, I loved the story the next day.
Yeah,
like I loved going with the girls. And I was like, girls, guess what?
You'll never guess what. Yeah.
This happened, that happened, and it's not even just like the sex, really. It's the whole
story.
The story, potentially the date or the meeting them, and even like if it went amazing, and I was like, oh my god, like I've literally.
But
found
I think
the love
it's
of my
exciting
life.
when you're younger. Yeah, like that is from when you were younger. I think when you're early 20s. Absolutely, like it's really exciting to date someone new. It's really exciting to find someone and get to know someone, whatever, sleep with them. But when you get older, it's not as fun. You've dated 1,000 people. You're not bothered about that anymore.
Honestly, Liv, if me and Jamie broke up now,
I think I'd focus on my girls. I think I'd end up spending a lot of time going on girls' holidays.
But I definitely wouldn't. I wouldn't never then just go to sleep with someone. Like I just couldn't be arsed anymore. Like back when I was younger, it was like, oh my god, the stories to tell the girls.
You value yourself a bit more. Like I think, I know it sounds the daftest, but when you're younger, you're probably just ridiculous and make silly mistakes.
Just for the stories,
just for the stories. But when you're older, you're like, I haven't got time to waste, man.
And also, I'm not interested in making a story with you that I don't care about.
You don't want a bad lay. You rather watch porn with your toys. And at least then you can never be dissatisfied, and you don't have to deal with the bullshit.
100%.
The headache the next day.
Absolutely. I think as you get older, like you say, you just think, no, I don't want to be going around doing that. If I'm going to go on a date with you, we're going to go on a few dates. You're not going to get it straight away. No. Like you say, I know my worth. I'm not going to just
messing around,
faff around with you.
I mean, obviously, sometimes it works out. And you're like, oh my god, this guy's really fit.
Yeah, fine.
But then obviously it just takes.
But even then, I also think it's always going to be a letdown.
Yeah, it always.
If you do just sleep with someone on one night, it's going to be a letdown.
Yeah, of course it is. Because they don't know you and your body. Exactly. You need to know your body, I think.
100%.
But yeah, so that was a very nitty gritty episode.
Yeah, we got right down to it.
So yeah, we've given you all our spill of our guts.
Yeah, would actually love to know your thoughts though, because there's loads we spoke about, like porn and what you think cheating is, because we're all very, very different, aren't we?
Yeah.
And I know, like I say, some people really think it is. So maybe I'll do a bit of a poll next week.
Yeah.
And see what you guys actually think. Yeah, and we can have a little
ask those questions. They're really good because I really want to know what they say.
Yeah. Because it's not just a question that's just a yes or no.
It's very grey area about, and everyone's again circumstantial. So absolutely, obviously, we won't share if anyone writes in or whatever. We will never share
all
anything.
and on.
Yeah, but it is interesting to find out what people's opinions are because everyone is different. So
yeah.
Well, that's it from us, gals. We'll see you next Monday. Bye.